I've been more sedentary over the last couple of years than I reasonably should have been. If it wasn't for a government-imposed lockdown, it was a large programming project or a knee problem, or the excuses I could rattle off are endless. The government, the weather, the politics, my health, one thing or another. It's now time to stop. It's now time to get off my arse and to go out and do some real riding. What's the goal here? What am I trying to do? Quite simply, 12 weeks. I'm going to make 6 episodes, and this is about my journey from this health, whatever health I am, through to being as healthy as I can be, so that I can go and do a large or a long cycle ride. It's 260 kilometers, start off around Armadale, out to Glen Innes, and then across to Grafton, all of it off-road, some of it using what's called the old Glen Innes road, which is an old coaching road that's been disused. It's a gravel road. Should be a lot of fun. Before we go any further, I need to point out I'm not an expert in this matter. I'm not a health professional. I'm merely a bloke that wants to get off the couch and get themselves to be a bit healthier. With any change in lifestyle, you must consider your own personal situation. What works for me may not be appropriate for you. Don't simply dive into exercise because you've been inspired by something that you've seen here. By all means, be inspired, but with any change to your lifestyle, I would advise you to go and speak to your health professional, your GP, your doctor first. Make sure that it's good for you and it's safe for you. For anyone that thinks that I'm in the middle of the bush and I'm so lucky to be able to get away, I'm actually filming at the local park, and 20 feet behind me there's a thing called Cars and Coffee occurring, where people turn up in their vintage cars and stand around and drink coffee and look at each other's cars. Weird, but fun. This is not going to be a matter of comparing war stories, that my injury is greater than your injury or my health needs improving more than your health. This is just a personal program where I'm going to work on me and try and get myself to be as healthy as possible, just so that I can get out, I can enjoy, I can cycle, I can climb, I can ride, I can do all the things I want to do. Everyone is starting from a different place than me. We've all had different journeys in life, we all have different physical capabilities, we all have different mental capabilities. This journey is my journey, and hopefully you'll come along too. The bottom line is that my life has been safe and secure and very sedentary over the last couple of years. I like sedentary, I like being at home, I like the security of being at home. It's now time to go out, to be more active, to spend more time in nature, to get out into the wild, to spend time looking after the physical me and the mental me. Like everyone, I come into one of these challenges with a unique set of issues and health problems. None of them are particularly defining, and none of them are hopefully going to be a barrier to my improving my health. So how the hell are we going to do this? Well, I've booked myself in to see my GP. I'm going to get a blood test, make sure that he gives me the all clear before I do too much exercise. Before I go and see him, I might have 2 or 3 days of staying away from the bacon sandwiches and the chocolate bars, just to optimize my results as best I possibly can. Okay, I've been to see my GP. He's referred me to go to get a blood test. Blood test has been taken. I'll be back to see him in 2 weeks' time and let the games begin.
Okay, so I've just gone to see my GP, and after I've had my blood test, and although most of the signs are pretty good and I am okay for going ahead and doing some exercise, I am running a slightly high cholesterol level, which is unusual for me, but most of that is because I'm probably carrying too much weight. But to be safe, he's asked me to go and get I think it's a calcium function heart test, something like that, where I've got to go and measure the amount of calcification around my heart, just to see how level of fitness, I guess. And beyond that, I need to drop some weight. So yeah, guess what I'm doing for the next few months.
So I now have my coronary calcium score, and the numbers range from nothing, obviously, to I think they go to well over 1,000, but there are markers, there are levels that you can be in, and it turns out I have a very low level of coronary calcification, very low burden, I think it's called, which means my heart's in good health. So once again, we're back to the only real issue you've got here is weight. Now, the sharp-eyed amongst you might have noticed over the last few months that I've been wearing a watch, which is quite unusual for me. It's a Garmin Vivo 3 watch, and it can measure a number of different things, like the amount of sleep that I get, the amount of stress that I'm under, but along with that it can measure a couple of straightforward things, which is the amount of steps that I take in a day and the amount of active minutes that I have in a week. And I'm embarrassed to say that over the last 2 months, the average number of steps I've taken in a day is 3,838 steps per day. At the end of the day, all of these tests and charts and numbers are outcomes. They are the result of behaviours. They're not really much of a measure of the behaviour themselves. The real thing is that these are a result of what I've been doing for the last few years. If I want to change, I've got to change the inputs, the behaviours. I need to take more steps. I need to be more active. In short, I've got to burn more calories than I'm consuming. Very simple. So what does it mean at the end of the day? It's really quite straightforward. I've got to do more exercise, which will start with walking, and it will be cycling. Whatever number of steps I'm at, I've got to go from whatever it is, I've got to increase them with a goal of getting to 8,000 steps a day. And when am I going to start? Right now.